I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Without fail, every year during the week of the Super Bowl, some media outlet tries to run with a narrative about how the pregame expectations create a lot of pressure for whoever the favorite is heading into the weekend. And more often than not, those stories are complete nonsense that are nothing more than clickbait. Because great teams, and great athletes for that matter, relish the big moments. They embrace them, just like Erin Banks is doing in his run to defend his Arnold Classic men's physique title 4 weeks from now. I'm sure there are probably some people who might have had a hard time dealing with the pressure heading into a show like this. But it doesn't seem like he's one of them, because he has an aura of confidence heading into his first title defense, like this is his first show to lose. And whenever great athletes can get tunnel vision and tune out the extraneous noise, more often than not, we end up getting their best on game day. And his best is better than anyone else in the division right now. Now, outside of Erin Banks defending his title, the headlines coming from the men's physique division over the last few weeks have been few and far between. But now that Ryan Terry looks like he's getting closer to jumping back into the mix again, all of a sudden, this division is starting to feel a lot more interesting. Ryan and his team made a conscious decision to sit out for the 2022 Olympia because he felt like he needed more time to make improvements so he can present a look that's more competitive with the current landscape of the division, which is basically a long-winded way of saying that he needs more muscle. With that being said, for someone with his track record, having been a top 3 Olympian on a handful of occasions already, a little bit of quality size in the right places can go a long way. And as long as he doesn't have to sacrifice his conditioning to do it, he'll be another one to keep an eye on as we progress throughout the season. We're also starting to see the race for the Fitness International title begin to heat up, especially from Olympia champ Missy Truscott as she heads into Columbus looking to avenge last year's loss to reigning Fitness International champ Ariel Kadar. By all accounts, Missy is scheduled to come in on point and ready to deliver another one of those primetime performances that we've all become so accustomed to when she takes center stage. But at the same time, there was a lot of this same narrative being floated around heading into last year's contest where Ariel was absolutely lights out, which is why she ultimately ended up getting the nod. The top 3 or 4 athletes in this division are so close that if anyone ever comes in being even slightly off, basically opens up the floodgates. And given the fact that Ariel is coming to defend her title, you'd imagine that she'd be ready to bring her A game. So if Missy isn't at 100% during the prejudging, this is a thing that is far from a lock. Because between Ariel and Jacqueline Baker, the race for the top 3 is going to be as tight as anything we've ever seen. If anyone out there was still tossing around the idea of buying tickets for this year's Pittsburgh Pro, now might be a good time to go ahead and lock those in, because having the chance to see Samson Dauda do his thing as one of the featured guest posers is worth the price of admission. Outside of the fact that Samson is one of the hottest athletes in all of bodybuilding right now, there's a history of guys guest posing at this show who go on to do bigger and better things down the road come Olympia time, like we saw with Derek Lunsford last year. And with the wave of momentum that Samson's been riding lately, there's a good chance that we see this show do for him what it did for Derek last year, in the sense that it could catapult him into the very upper echelon of the men's open division as a legitimate title threat to Hadi Chupin's title. And if I've said this once, I've said it 1,000 times. Bodybuilding is a star-driven sport. And now that Samson is starting to reach star status, this is an opportunity for him to shine. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions. And make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.